have to excuse my voice. I've been punched in the throat by Chris, so I'm a little bit hoarse. Feel free to chat. I can see the chat, so ask any questions. We'll tell stories, and I'll work on getting this voice better as we go. It's kind of hard to do a barb outside of the buy things from Chris's eBay. That's the extent of mainly my barb. Alright, let's start out here. I'll turn on bonus chest because I'm a cheating whore like that. God damn it. I'm not very good at this technology. So, 2 people in the chat. How are we doing today? Not bad. I mean, I had to wash a few loads of shitty pants earlier, but aside from that, pretty good. He hasn't punted me down the stairs this morning yet, so, you know, as good as you could hope for, I guess. Of course, he's running around the house bitching his birthday is coming up like anyone actually gives a fuck. And this bonus chest is about as useful as Chris himself, unfortunately. I fully expect this stream to be an utter train wreck because, well, my old woman voice isn't that great, but, you know, do what you gotta do. Oh, despite what the game says, this isn't the first time I've gotten wood. I'm quite the experienced lumberjack, and so was dear old Bob, unfortunately. I just can't cut down the internet like he could. Thank you very much, Demon Dread. I was quite the expert in rim jobs in my day, too, but we'll save that for the Barb After Dark stream. Fuck, a lot of horses around here. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised when you all picked Minecraft by an overwhelming majority. I figured you would go for GTA so I could run around as an old woman and, you know, just be vulgar to people over mic. But, you know, hey, I do what the fans want. Well as I can. I mean, it could be worse. I could be one of the kittens. Although, thankfully, honestly, Winter's kind of cut down on Chris kidnapping kittens. There just aren't as many about. Oh, yeah. You don't know true horror until you've had to watch a pair of My Little Panties. Ugh. My Little Pony panties, excuse me. Chris went to the doctor one time and they asked him for a urine, stool, and semen sample, and a blood sample, and he just handed him one pair of panties and said, "Here you go." Oh, hey, look, it's me. Such an odd experience. I'm actually looking for Cole as opposed to not answering his calls and wishing he would shut the fuck up and go away. I fully expect to get a text message from him later talking about how Minecraft is a tool for the pedophiles. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my regular voice because that hurts. But I'll still answer questions and, you know, be Barb, just a very manly, large man Barb. Which, I mean, in her day wasn't that far off. She wasn't exactly a tiny lady. If any of you have any random crap you want me to attempt to build, just let me know. I'm decently good at Minecraft. The fuck? Campfire? Oh, never made one of those before. Yes, actually, I share a bowl with Snoopy and Clover. It's not the best situation, but water's water. Of course, he doesn't fill it, but, you know, the runoff from the roof when it rains is good enough. We all can't have fancy $80 water bottles that we then fill with regular bottled water, which kind of defeats the purpose. Whatever. The power of Christmas. I would die of dehydration before I would drink from anything Chris has shat into. A diet of McDonald's and Fanta doesn't exactly do wonders for your digestive tract, obviously. No, 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 no. Although I will give him credit, he's been very nice the last couple days, I guess, excited for his birthday. He threw me a balled up McDouble wrapper earlier and let me have the cheese off of it, which is very courteous for him. And of course, there's no white fucking sheep when you need them. He does have his moments between yelling at me and punching me because I didn't have his dinner prepared in time. Not like he's, you know, not busy sitting there watching The Proud Family on his phone on Disney Plus or anything. Fuck. Alright, note to self, clear space out above the bed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, why spend money on frivolous things like groceries when you can go waste an entire meal's or an entire day's worth of money that could be used to buy food on a single meal of grease, grease, and more grease? What was it one time someone gave him like a $25 gift card and kept track of what he bought with it, and he ate at McDonald's like 14 times in 6 days or some fucking ridiculous amount like that? But we're just haters for pointing that out. Be sure to donate money to him that he'll spend on toys and more McDonald's. Yeah, it seems like he's going into fucking overdrive mode. I mean, well, just look at that Eshkol kid. Like, he fucking supported Chris wholeheartedly, and look where it got him. Chris is a complete fucking dick to him. Like, even the people that genuinely try to be helpful, like, just, no, fuck you. You're not giving me money or expensive things. Go to hell. Like, I don't really know where he gets it from, because, like, Bob and Barb don't seem like great people, but they don't seem to be that fucking just selfish and over the top. I mean, I guess Barb is to a degree. I mean, me to a degree. I mean, the Quickie has lots of stuff about her, like threatening to kill herself and shit to get Chris to do what she wants. Oh yeah, he definitely gets the manipulation from Barb. I mean, just look at the way he fucking pretends to be so tortured and abused just to get idiots to donate money to him, like Righteous and MKR. I mean, hey, it fucking works, though. He's got a dedicated little army of white knights. Yeah, like, I get it somewhat. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was probably stupid enough that I would have, like, pretended to like some random internet dude just to get credibility or something, but the fact some of them are adults is just astounding to me. But, like I tweeted the other day, like, some people just like a fucking freak show. And Chris is a train wreck freak show in the highest regard. Yeah, like, plus teenagers, like, aren't old enough to realize that, like, not everybody is a good person. They're willing to look past and think, oh, like, I want to see the good in someone. Like that, well, the Eshkol kid, like, I don't know how old he is, but I'd guess he's younger, because it seems like he genuinely tried to see the good in Chris, and it just isn't there. Like, it's never going to be there. He is what he is. I'm honestly continually surprised that my account hasn't got reported by any of the weens yet. Or at least if they have, it hasn't got taken down. Like, I expected it to make it like a week. Especially once people like fucking Alan Christopher noticed it and wanted to start arguing. I mean, I can be. I've said some pretty horrible shit. I like somewhat back down from the really bad stuff, but I still say some pretty bad shit about him. I just try to do it in such a cartoon way that no one in their right mind could take it seriously. Although you would be surprised how many, like, even with me having in the bio that it's a parody account, I get at least one, maybe two messages a week from somebody that legitimately thinks I'm Barb and wants to give me, like, fucking email addresses and shit to get help from, like, fucking abused elder groups and shit. Like, god damn it. Like, how can you read anything I say and think that I'm really fucking Barbara Chandler? Yeah, exactly. Like, just how? I mean, I guess it explains how those fucking people buy Chris. People will believe. Well, of course I am hyper, but it doesn't change people from questioning it. Duh. Like I said, Chris punched me in the throat earlier, so that's why my voice is sounding off. Here, in case you didn't believe me. Buy things from eBay. Chris's eBay. See? Totally me. I also think it's funny that there's the whole conspiracy group that thinks Barb's dead. Like, fucking Chris would not be able to spill the beans on that one and start begging. Oh, instantly. Like, her body wouldn't even be cold before he fucking blurbed about it on Twitter. And beg. Yeah, exactly, pity points. Like, I don't know if you've ever read the article on Bob's funeral. Like, they didn't even ask for flowers or anything. Like, the first thing in the obituary is, like, send us money. Like, fucking hell. Can you just imagine what Barb's obituary is going to be if Chris is the one left in charge of it, which he probably will be since none of her other family that's alive cares about them? Like, it's not like Cole's going to show up and write a fucking obituary for her. Really, just her funeral in general is going to be a fucking circus. Because you know when she dies that fucking trolls will show up to that funeral. It will be a fucking pilgrimage. And really the sad part is the trolls will probably be the only people that did show up to your funeral. I mean, it's not like her family likes her or Chris. We know Bob's family fucking hated her. From most accounts, they didn't even like Bob that much, whether yet fucking Barbara. Like, just think of how shitty a person you have to be that your own kids don't show up to your funeral like they did Bob. Like, his kids could care less, like, whatever, he's dead. Now, anything ever happens to Chris, that funeral will be a fucking party. There will be trolls from the entire eastern seaboard coming in to go to that motherfucker. Get, like, Gino up there to deliver a eulogy. I mean, shit, I'm close enough. I would go to Chris's funeral just to see the event around it. Although, really, I don't even know if Chris would have a funeral because, well, I guess probably fucking Weens will pay for it. Oh, it would definitely make the local news, I bet. Like, I'm sure he's at least infamous in his local area, you know. Oh, hey, Rupp. Welcome to the chat. Oh, nothing much. We're just chatting, Chris. I'm building a house. Feel free to throw any topic you want out there, and we'll have a group discussion. The Barb voice was killing me, so I just dropped it and went back to my normal one. Yeah, at first I was going to try to do the whole stream in Barb voice, but I just can't. My voice is way too rednecky male sounding to do whatever the fuck Barb's accent is. I would think Virginia, but I've known people from Virginia and they didn't talk like her. Or Chris. Chris's accent is fucking weird. Like, he sounds nothing like his parents. Although it might be thrown off by his whole constant trying to sound like fucking Mickey Mouse on helium thing he does, so he sounds more like a girl. It is, but it's not nearly as high-pitched as he does it sometimes. Like, I think it's high-pitched, but not that bad. Because, like, on the stream the other night, he would go, like, extra high at times. And if you look at old Chris, it would crack, but it wasn't, like, all the way up here. Like I said, he sounds like a weird Mickey Mouse at this point when he's trying to sound more feminine. It's definitely shifted over the years from what it originally was. I'm sure his, like, weird, well, whatever hormones he's on. Apparently he's supposedly on actual hormones now. I know for a long time he used fucking, oh, I think black market menopause cream was what he was claiming was hormone therapy for the longest time. Although supposedly now he conned some doctor into giving him... Yeah, well, it wasn't hypnotherapy, it was audio therapy or something. He, like, claimed he found videos on YouTube that played frequencies that made him grow the clit that he was trying to free. No, he'll never go all the way. No matter what he says, he wants fucking China. Like, he's gonna do everything he can to eventually fuck somebody. I mean, I'm not even fully convinced he's trans. Like, he could be, but I don't buy it. I think he's fucking... He likes to cross-dress, and he thinks being trans, in my opinion, is just going to get him sympathy and protection. Because I've always thought he kind of thinks the trans community is stupid enough to just believe him. Which people like Ricetus and fucking MKR prove that some of them are. And he just thinks they'll give him universal protection because, oh, he's trans, we have to support him and buy his stuff and fucking protect him. Like, he's even said on record the reason he changed his name to Christine was he thought that if you Google Christine Chandler, you wouldn't find results about the shit he's done in the past. Plus, really, in general, I just don't take anything Chris has ever said for a single second as genuine. Like, he's shown time and time again that every single thing he says or does is in some way calculated to get something out of someone. Like, I don't even think he knows what his actual personality is at this point. It's just this character he's played for so long to get sympathy that it kind of became who he actually is. Oh, hey, we got lava nearby. That'll come in handy. The fuck is my house? Did I already lose it? Okay, I think there's the big cave over by where no. Son of a bitch. I've done lost my fucking house. Ah, there we go. That would have been inconvenient. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Chris is actually trans? I know people are all over the board with their opinions on that matter. Yeah, I just realized that for whatever reason, only half the stuff you... Okay, I just noticed the last couple messages. Half of it's showing up on my screen, and half of it's only showing up in the actual YouTube chat, which is odd. I guess after 50 messages, it stopped showing them on screen, but I can still see you guys typing. Yeah, that was odd that he cut off with Kiwi Farms. I guess partially that would have been Jacob doing that, because he kind of turned Chris against a lot of the fucking Kiwi Farms guys. Because you're right, they were his biggest supporters for the longest time. Or at least in my opinion, Jacob was a big part of why he turned against the Kiwi Farms. I mean, just that whole fucking ordeal was a mess. And then come to find out later that the person that helped take Jacob down was fucking MKR, who turned out to be just as bad in her own fucking way. Or his own way. I'm not quite sure what MKR actually is, so I'm just going to go with her. I've seen people argue either way. I mean, regardless of gender, they're a bitch. That's for definite. I mean, is MKR really that around them that much anymore? I know their Discord shut down after fucking they doxed a bunch of people and got reported to Discord by a ton of people and that whole fucking mess. Thankfully, I got booted. I was a part of the initial raid when they opened it, but I got booted before they started fucking doxing people. Yeah, the one he posted on his Twitter, the whatever quick alliance or some shit. I threatened to drop an elbow off the top rope as Macho Man Randy Savage in the chat, and I got booted. But apparently after they booted all those people, the people that stuck around that pissed them off, they were just fucking straight up doxing them. Or what passes for doxing to their shitty, untrained people. Like, just posting their public accounts. Like, ooh, fucking scary. Apparently they had some bot you had to register with after you joined the server eventually, and that bot would like check all your accounts to make sure like, oh, this person isn't a troll or something. And they were using the data from the bot to basically search out people's accounts and shit. At least that's what I was told by somebody that exposed a bunch of the docking. Because I'm in another Chris Discord that's not, you know, doxing people and fucking nothing but weens and white knights. Well, two. I'm a member of Gibby's Discord, and then I'm a member of another Discord that's ran by... I won't say, because I don't know if they want people knowing their shit, you know, given that fucking MKR loves doxing people. I would recommend Gibby's Discord for anybody that likes discussing Chris, though. It's got a pretty good community, and everybody's really nice. I played a bit of ESO. Like, I bought it on the Christmas sale, but didn't end up actually... I played it till I got to about level 30, and I just got fucking bored. Like, the content just... It just isn't exciting. At least to me, it wasn't. Like, it's cool on its surface, but it's so shallow feeling. Yeah, I did notice that once I started getting into dungeons. If you've never tried it, Final Fantasy 14 is pretty good. Like, you don't run into a lot of that because there's very few classes that can queue as anything but one or the other. I played it a little bit when it initially came out and wasn't that impressed, and then I came back earlier this year and played quite a bit. And actually, they've improved it a bunch. I liked a lot of the new jobs. Like, gun blades are fun, shit like that. I think I made it to like level 70 and just kind of got bored. Yes, I played a fucking ton of 11 when I was younger. Went and bought the hard drive for the PS2 and everything. 11 was really underrated, although the end game after a while just got so horribly grindy, even by MMO standards. Yeah, the auction house was great in 11. I used to be a big person on. I would go camp out. Shit, I can't even remember the name of the monster, but there was like a early level gear you could get called like a hunter's mantle. Yeah, I think it was a hunter's mantle, something like that. And I used to fucking make so much money selling those all the time. Yeah, I definitely like the different jobs. Son of a fucking bitch. Fucking creepers. I definitely like the jobs quite a bit. Well, fuck me. I like the job system a lot in Final Fantasy 11. Well, that was fucking inconvenient. I'm wanting to say I was a Dark Knight, some combo of Dark Knight and 11. And then in 12 I always played, or in 14 I always played tanks. Just, you know, tanking's not that bad in 14 and it makes your queue so much fucking faster. Like, barely ever did I have to wait for something if I was playing Paladin. Might have been a Dark Knight Dragoon, maybe? It's been so long since I played 11. Yeah, tanking, you definitely had to watch a lot of videos. Like, I never went into a dungeon without watching a video on it just to make sure I knew exactly where I had to have everything. Especially in 14, some of the bosses, if you didn't know exactly where to stand it, everybody was going to die quickly. You guys think Chris will end up getting someone to pay for his trip all the way to California to go to that convention he wants to? I still personally think fucking he talks to Jacob, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jacob pays his way. Did you guys see there was some kind of thing where apparently MKR wanted him to, like, start packing a gun or some ridiculous shit like that? I don't know all the details. That was just the thing I saw, was like something about MKR and Chris having a gun, which sounds like the worst fucking combo. Yeah, apparently there was something in... Oh, fuck. I forget who it was. Somebody released a bunch of, like, a PDF with a bunch of shit they'd gathered, like, from that one server of, like, MKR, and them, like, trying to tell Chris stuff, and them, like, fucking... There was stuff in there where they tried to get, like, a 14-year-old to join the cult and shit that was so fucking borderline, like, child grooming, it's not even funny. Yeah, it was fucking creepy. Like, Chris telling her that he thought she was a goddess and that she needed to join them because she had a CPU inside of her or some shit. And it was like a 14-year-old girl. Like, fuck, dude. Like, that's beyond creepy, even for you. I'll try to find a link to the PDF. I know the person that put it out and see if I can find it and I'll tweet it out. It had all kinds of horrible shit in there that they were apparently up to. Because, like, that's the one thing you always could say about Chris is he probably wasn't a pedophile, but it really makes you fucking question it when he does shit like that. But just don't forget, he isn't interested in sex. He hasn't been interested in sex in years. Literal years, according to him. He just wants to meet S&T and have some nice tea and cookies with her. That's all. It has nothing to do with getting into her pants. Not one thing. Did you guys catch any of the stream he did the other day of him reading that creepy rape fiction about S&T? Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, his voice alone, you can only stand for so long before you just want to fucking shoot yourself. Certainly wasn't expecting a witch to fucking join up and poison my ass. And now I'm probably gonna die. Great. Well, yeah, I mean, I like to get out here and feel youthful. Which, welcome to the stream, tweeter. I dropped the voice a while ago because it hurt, and I'm really bad at doing an old woman voice. I mean, you're not wrong. With all the constant abuse, it probably has dropped a few octaves over the years. Yeah, that looks a little better, I guess. This house turned out very blocky. Good seeing you, tweeter. Kudos to, well, Hyper and Demon Dread. I guess that's how you pronounce that in general, because I know this probably hasn't been the most entertaining stream, so thanks for hanging around. Thank you very much, Hyper. I'm trying. It's still very blocky, though. I've never been good at making, like, individual houses. I'd do better at making, like, large-scale things. Like, on my actual PlayStation profile, I have one I'm working on where I've carved, like, an entire cliff set out, and it has, like, winding staircases and, like, all kinds of buildings built into the cliff and shit. Much more proud of that than I am this. I do a lot of town building in Fallout 4, like building whole little communities for people to move into and shit. I have some absolutely massive communities I've built on there. I built a lot in Conan Exiles too, which doesn't sound like a game that would have a great building program, but it really does. Yeah, anti-gravity islands do seem to be a fairly common thing in this game for whatever reason. Like, it makes for some cool looking stuff, but it's not very realistic, obviously. Yeah, they don't exactly have the smartest AI, that's for sure. I think I'm probably going to call this for the evening because I don't feel like going to search for iron right now, but thank you two for coming out. I'll try to do more streams in the future, hopefully something more entertaining than me just building a house next time. I'll catch you guys on Twitter back when I'm back to talking as the old girl again. Later, guys.